Hi, welcome to the Little Red Couch. My name is Daniel, and I'm the co-founder of Enable Asia. Today I have with me very special people, right, who are estate planners. I don't know much about it, but let's hear them out, right? So I got two very special people here with me today, but I will not introduce them because I want them to introduce themselves. So I'll pass the mic over to you.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks Daniel and Danny for having us on your Little Red Couch. Yeah, so my name is Bernard and I am a co-founder of this company called Chapter 3 Consultancy. So we help people plan with their estate planning. So here with me is my business partner Youyi.
Yeah, so my name is Youyi, also co-founder of Chapter 3. So here we are speaking today about caregiving and etc. So basically, before we kickstart this company, right, I joined the financial industry first.
Right.
So I joined when I was 23 years old. So I graduated from NTU Accountancy, and then I joined this financial industry as a insurance business.
Yeah.
Because of my dad's story. We had brain cancer, then I realized that there's no insurance or anything. So my family had to suffer financially because we need to pay medical debts and all this.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized that the importance of insurance back then when I was Youyi. So I joined straight away to the financial industry without anything. My mom also she told me not to join, but I just insisted anyway because that was my calling.
Yeah. Because what happened to Daddy inform your decision making to go into a sector that you want to help others.
Yes, correct.
Right. So it's a misconception for those who think that financial planning is just a lot of not so happening, but it is because the situation that I'm trying to relate back to Youyi as well. When Daddy was diagnosed with dementia 15 years ago, 16 years ago, we had no insurance. And everything was out of the pocket expense. But today, live on the show, right? A lot of you haven't heard. My dad has passed, so I just also want to put it on the show because this Little Red Couch is about inconvenient truths. A lot of very raw stuff that we want to present as well. So Daddy left us, but in his sleep. So for all those who are watching here today, I also thank you for your condolences in advance. So that was a blessing for us. But I'm still the other half, right? I'm caring for mommy as well, who is living with frailty, multiple chronic illnesses. She's got a lot of issues, but she just don't want to fix it, right? So I only pray that mommy and daddy don't leave at the same time. I wouldn't be able to take it, right? So my mental health will be at risk if that ever happens really, really soon, right? So back to insurance, right? We never had insurance. Everything was out of pocket expenses. Yeah. I know how you feel because I'm still going through it because I haven't finished paying off Daddy's hospital bills and a lot of things are still outstanding, right? So and that's the reason why I want to bring Bernard into the conversation as well because we met a couple of months back and he told me, he says, hey, you know what, Dan, I'm doing something that I think I can help caregivers. So you're either a current caregiver, a future caregiver, a former caregiver, or people like us who are still if we have all the chronic illnesses ourselves, we are the ones going to be cared for by other people in time to come. So Daddy Mummy had high blood pressure, cholesterol, most people have it. 2 out of the 3 highs, no escape, you know what I mean? So if you're watching, touch your heart and say, maybe it's time for me to really, really think about what's next. And we all know without proper planning, we're not going to get by that comfortably in our later years if we happen to fall ill, right? So I really wanted to speak to Bernard and say that there could be way out, there could be solutions, there could be even things like I want to do something good for the cause that I'm living with. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more, right?
Sure. So just some background. I myself a bit more fortunate, haven't really been in the role of a caregiver for human beings.
Future caregiver.
Yeah, but you never know future. Yeah, the closest experience I have was recently my cat in and out of hospital. It's also quite traumatizing. The bills are racking up, 4 days in hospital, $6,000 already. This morning the doctor called again need to top up and I still need to go in, or do you want to do surgery, etc.
Yeah, you're caring for something, right?
Yeah, even for cats it's already quite mentally draining.
Yes, of course.
I can only guess how bad it must be for caregiver yours who are in it for so many years. Yeah. As for the part about estate planning, Youyi actually we were colleagues. I also started with insurance. Yeah, we still hold insurance license. But for me, I started 17 years ago. About 10 years back, I had this incident where one of this client of mine, they did a claim. The father passed on, claimed about 300 over thousand. The daughter is only 22 years old, from a very humble family. So actually, it's not too bad as lump sum.
Right.
Yeah. But sadly, 3 years later, when we visited her, like all the money is gone already. Yeah. And there's nothing much to show for it. It's not like, oh, I should take 300k and bought a car, a branded bag, or something. I can sell it back. She also not too sure exactly how the money is gone. Of course, some is like you spend on food, some
It's
you have
probably day-to-day expenses.
Day-to-day, but also some with bad investments, some you lend friends, etc., etc. All sorts. It's just so easily to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that about 10 years ago, that I realized that yes, insurance helps, but if we don't plan how you give it, especially a younger beneficiary or people who are not so well with finance, you also end up back to square one. Yeah, doesn't really impact. Yeah, so that's the part I started to tell my customer that hey, you also need to do a will. But that time I don't know much about will, so I just passed to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think most of us are also like that. Even my clients ask me like, hey, why are you estate planning? You do will, are you a lawyer? I said, I'm not a lawyer, I help you plan. Then I bring you to my lawyer or my trust company to set it up. Then why? Right. Yeah. So what happened is that I said most lawyers, the normal one, you go there, it's a template. You fill out this form, who are your beneficiary, how many percent you want to give to them, and that's it. The will is very simple, 2-pager. If anything happen, my wife will be the executor.
Right.
Then my wife will get 50%, my children get 25%.
Right.
That's about it.
Right. And how is it different? Tell me.
Yeah, so then I realized that these are so simple, there's a lot of circumstances that problem still pops up, which along the last 10 years, I start to encounter real example of clients going. So that's where we both started to go and take courses. We are under the APP, Associate Estate Planner. Basically, we learn how to do a proper estate planning, so that all these scenarios, right, are properly taken care of in the legal documents lah. If anything happens, you have a proper guide of what to do and you have the legal powers to do so.
Yeah. So it's a journey that you take with people like myself who have no idea what to do, how to do it.
Correct.
And then you guide me to it, and it's a very customized,
correct,
and personalized experience.
Yeah. So for example, a common thing is that I always tell customer like, you might not want to give lump sum to your children,
right,
even if they are in the 20, 21.
Yeah, why should we give it to them?
You want to give it to them, of course. Most Asian want to give it to enable them, give them a good life, right? We may not have a very good life for our parents' generation,
right,
but now you want to help your next generation. I think those are Asia
values.
Chinese, that's fine. But the thing is that if I'm 21 years old, I inherited a $2 million, $1 million house, and then $1 million in bank account, and then $1 million in insurance, I'm like 2-3 million.
I'm an instant millionaire.
Yeah.
I for sure will not know how to handle it.
Right.
If you ask as a daughter, you worry that does the boyfriend like her for the money, or like her for who is she, or is it going to cost her to buy Ferrari or drive fast car and end up harming himself or herself? Yeah. So basically, it's that if you do a proper planning, you can actually, for example, give every month.
Yeah.
Instead of just lump sum, just give every month until let's say 35.
Yeah.
When you, or even I tell a lot of my customers is that if I'm dealing with 5 figure in my bank account today, right, I cannot suddenly know how to handle 6-7 figures, right?
Correct.
You need to grow into money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why not you let them progress? Maybe in your will, your 1 million, you say first time give 100,000, 2 years later 200,000, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. So that is I want to come to that, right? So I just want to talk to our users, our viewers out there, right? It is about, we plan for so many things. But how come, right, we don't really plan for these sort of situations, and we don't really handle it well, right? Because also financial literacy is it's really lacking, and caregivers, we don't have time to start thinking about all this stuff, and we don't know how to plan, who to go to plan, and really when I got introduced to you, I was like, damn, you can now help me to plan all this stuff beyond my time here, because I have no children. And I might want to give it to a charitable organization or a cause that I truly believe in. It could be animal care, it could be cancer because daddy died of cancer as well. It could be dementia because we have this 15 years in what we're dealing with. So now you open my mind and saying that, oh, actually I don't have to give to an existing loved one because I hope by the time I leave, I don't have any existing loved ones who is there for me. So really sometimes when I met you, I felt like, whoa, it was a timely time to start thinking about it, because the journey in my life has reached that stage where I want to start planning that. Right? So it's never too early or too late to plan, but it's even better if you're saying that if parents plan for their children. So that's what I'm hearing, so that they can better grow into the money that they're going to receive, because they might just not be able to handle $1 million if they only have 50,000 in their bank account. That's what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing, and I think it's great, because we want to issue them some form of allowance. Right? It'd be quite cool if I get allowance till I'm 60, right? Yeah.
And in fact, a lot of clients has a lot of. It's not I prescribe something to my client. It's always a discussion with the client. So once clients understand, like for example, like this case where he had very interesting instruction inside. He was that I want him to encourage him to go to the top university. Then it's like, if he graduate from the top 20 uni in the world, after graduation, my money, right, will give like 100,000 as a
get a bonus.
Yeah. Then I want him to work. I don't want him to be a trust fund baby, you know. Like every day don't need to do anything, I get $5,000, right? So he said that I give him $1,000 per month so that he will never be on the street. But it's not enough for you to just take and enjoy, right? But if you are gainfully employed, he'll top it up for dollar. It's a bit like the government work fair. The difference is for all his descendants. So you work 5,000, you get 5,000.
He can stretch. That's what I say. Descendants. He can stretch beyond one generation. That's what you're saying.
Right. If you want to, you can plan for multiple generations. There are people that plan for like all my descendants. And of course, that's where sometimes insurance comes in. Is also part of the solutions. It's like, how do we inject capital into the fund? So there will be some customers say that when every newborn is come out, use the trust will buy an insurance policy for the newborn, so that when they pass on in the future, then there will be money back into the trust. So there's keep on going for generation and generation to come.
Interesting. We never thought of it, but I don't have children now, so bopian, right?
Insurance is just one of the ways. For example, when you talk about insurance, it's just like maybe 1 to 10, for example. So maybe you can put in $1, you create a $10 instant immediate to your estate, so that the estate will have enough funds to actually go to the few generations to come.
So it's talking about amplifying and magnifying your future returns.
So basically, through our work and why we actually started this company, right, is to comprehend like wealth preservation and distribution. So probably we will give suggestions to the clients like, hey, what can we do? Like what Bernard said, we can give like certain discussions, like certain thought process, and then clients will take in. Then after we can implement certain solutions to amplify the estate. So basically, our work involves a lot of insurance and also the estate planning work.
So you are able to take my instructions for the future and not just, we'll execute it, done.
Yes,
right? Correct. Interesting.
So just a disclaimer, legal disclaimer, right? Whatever we mention about insurance is not financial advisory. We're not. It just happened to talk into this, and So anything, if you hear about it, interested, you need to talk to your own licensed financial planner.
We want you to go to people that you know, but we are sharing knowledge that a lot of us don't know. So that's why we're here to do the Little Red Couch, because we want to bring you insight, we want to bring you knowledge, we want to bring you real stories, real people, real stories, because that's how all of us need that social connection. All of us want to hear things that might just change our lives, right? So
and maybe I can share one case study.
Case studies are good.
You mentioned about charity, right? It just happened yesterday. I was introduced to a customer, and then we are talking about it.
Right.
She has no children. But she was quite blessed, so she has quite a lot of wealth. And she told me, at my age right now, I don't spend much. My investment give me like 20,000 per month passive income. But I come here with the elder senior center, have fun with each other, like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 only. I don't know what to do with the money. I definitely want to give to charity. So she already come to us knowing that she want to give charity. But then the question is like, how should I go about doing it?
A lot of us don't know how to do it.
Because like, who is my executor? She also don't have. Who is my donee for the LP? Don't have. Because
nobody.
Husband passed on already. Family members not that close in terms of niece and nephew. Sometimes we have no control over these things. Then how? So one of the things she could do, one of the solutions is that instead of just through a bill, she can set aside this thing called charitable trust.
Mm.
So she will pledge, like through the will, we just pledge to the trust that after she passed on, the trustee will help them to manage all her assets, including her landed property. So those can still continue to rent out to generating income from the trust.
Yeah.
Then every year, the trustee will look at the accounts and say, okay, I take 90% of the profit for this year and donate to these few charities.
Yeah. So if you are a charity listening, right, we're also helping us. We're helping you too, right? So come and connect with Bernard because
Share with
he
your donors.
He might just have donors' money that are waiting to be connected to you, right, as a charity. So our friends in the charity sector, please come by and talk to us too.
Yeah. So with that 90% donate, so one good thing is that like that she knows that the charity will get a very constant stream of lump sum.
Yeah.
Not lump sum, constant stream instead of a lump
It's
sum.
sustainability that we are
Correct.
talking about.
Yeah.
So it's regular
Regular
donations.
income.
Yeah, so the charities don't have to go and hunt high and low for new funds.
It's easier to
Yeah.
project. You know
Yes.
that this trust gives you
Yes.
that constant.
Income.
Yes.
Stream.
Because with a lot of charities also, like lump sum of course is good,
Yeah.
but also they actually like consistent income flow to project their projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's sustainability, right? The magic word, everything is sustainable. Sometimes we keep talking about it, it's too much, but these sort of things are worth having some form of sustainability because it gives us assurance that we continue to do good because as charities, we're supposed to pledge it to the beneficiaries. Yeah, so having regular sources of income help us to be able to continue to do good work for the beneficiaries who are receiving our services. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And then, so what happened to the 10%, right?
Yeah.
I was like, 10% you can put it back to the trust so that your capital grows, right? That means next year, now your
Yeah,
interest
more.
is more. So in this way, she's really stretching her dollar impact. Because
Okay.
for her, it's really she wants the impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your trust fund grow, you can keep on giving more and more.
Yeah. So I'm also hearing the magic word called pay it forward, right? So she'll live a wonderful life, she's blessed. It is time to pay it forward too. And how to pay it forward, we can look at estate planning as part of the way of giving and paying forward. It doesn't have to be I cut one check and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time, right? Yeah, so it's also nice to have that in place. Okay, so I just want to wrap this up because our conversation is a meaningful one. How can you help me as a caregiver in my situation? I don't have much, and I want to give, and I want to give beyond my time because my time here is limited. We don't skirt around the conversation of death and dying because we all know we are going to get there. But it's how to start planning for that because I keep telling people, I say, hey, we plan for so many things, but we never plan for our own death, right? But that's one aspect of it, and beyond my death, what happens? I want to do good, right? But I don't know how to do good, so I'm really hoping you can help me plan in this situation. It doesn't have to be on this video, but we can always do it in a different setting. So how can anyone in my similar situation contact you? Yeah.
You can give us a call. We'll put in the link below.
Yeah, the link below,
Yeah.
the number.
Correct.
And what is the consultancy's name again?
Chapter 3 Consultancy.
Chapter 3 Consultancy, alright?
Yeah.
Any last words for our viewers out there?
I think the main thing is like every individual is actually very unique in terms of their family situation and their circumstances. So we really do plan and work in terms of their family dynamics and the values that they want to actually distribute to their loved ones.
Yeah.
So we will see the client profile and then we advise accordingly.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
I just want to add on one group that I personally want to reach out more to is those with special needs, be it
Yeah.
children. A lot of them are quite stuck. They don't really know if I'm the parents like special needs kids after I pass on, then what happens?
Then how? Yes.
What happened? So of course it's very involved, but basically you want to make sure that you leave behind enough money to take care of this person, but at the same time you need caregivers, that will be your siblings or your auntie or whoever to take care of him. You want to make sure that the finances is not a burden, because caregiving, as you all know, is tough already. If you still burden them with handling the money for your kids, yeah, so we do a lot of work for this group of segment is that have them set up the trust already, and then we will do a family briefing kind of thing. So that like this nephew or uncle is the future designated caregiver, we tell them that your uncle has already set aside this amount, this is the trustee, and there will be this amount of money for him.
Yeah.
So you just focus on taking care of the physical, money side is planned for.
It's really taken care
Yeah.
of.
So in this way, it really helps their family to be even willing to become a caregiver.
Yeah.
If you just throw me everything I have to handle.
It's just too much to
It's
take on.
too much.
Yeah.
And
So yeah.
So, just a shout out to Singapore. There's this non-profit called SNTC, Special Needs Trust Company.
Yeah.
Their trust company is non-profit. So a lot of people, a lot of times think that trust is only for the rich.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
If you are special needs, family member dependents, right? Check them out. It's like 90% subsidized by government.
Right.
$150 to set it up. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those who are special needs, right, because at the end of the day, we are drawn together is because we are caregivers, right? So whoever you're caring for, special needs, persons living with dementia, living with cancer, or any other form of chronic illnesses, it could be something worth consideration to consider, because beyond our time here, somebody's got to care for our loved ones who are going through their different stages or their difficult times in their lives, right? Just to end it up, I want to put you in a spot, right? Because I always ask this question at the end. You have loved ones that who are still by your side. Maybe shout out to mommy, daddy, or someone, right, that you care about, and tell them.
Wow, this is quite unexpected. Yeah, but I think that's a good chance. Just want to shout out to my father and my mother lah. I mean, how should I? Yeah, this really caught me by surprise. I mean, really thank you them for the hard work they try to bring us up. It's not perfect, and along the way, as I grew up and go through my own struggle, I realized that there are things that was missing in our growing up, beside your best efforts. Yeah, and there were times where after I went through my own therapies and I learned and I shared with you, actually all these things in the past that caused me certain pain. Yeah, it's not to blame you all, but I'm very glad that my parents are open and hear me out, and then they also become better at themselves. So I'm just grateful for my parents that you take care of us, me and my sister, to the best of our ability. Things happen, but we grow as a family, and I think the whole family is better as a whole lah. So
I can feel it because my goosebumps are all out. So it's really from the heart. So Uncle Auntie 他讲的是他爱你们啦。Yeah, I'll put it in short, right?
Yeah.
We express our love in different
Mom,
ways.
I love you. Dad, I love you.
Right, and for you as well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you taking care of mommy, you taking care of mommy's mommy.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell us, tell mommy, right? Look into the camera, this part, and you look into the camera and tell whoever you want to talk
Yeah,
to.
so I really thank my mom for bringing me up all these years, because ever since my dad passed away when I was 13, so it's been around 18 years already. So I'm very thankful for my mom who really take care of me and then funded me, even though we are very, very poor last time. And then now I'm in the sandwich generation where I need to take care of my mom because she has chronic illness. I also do have chronic illness, and also my two lovely child and my husband. I'm really thankful for my husband being supportive to the whole family. Yeah, so really thank you and I love you all.
So I would do that too, right? Because I want to tell my mom, right, mommy, you cannot tip over and fall now, because I wouldn't be able to accept two of my loved ones leaving me so soon. So mommy, you got to pick it up. Right? So on this note, I want to end this little red cow session with our two lovely guests here, Bernard as well as Youyi. Thank you very much for being here on the show, and we always feel the passion. We are drawn by this relationship called caregiving, and I'll say bye-bye to the rest of the audience. Bye!
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.